Greetings warriors and welcome back to another Bannerlord Mods Weekly episode, the show in which I show you some of the most popular mods released in the past week, as well as some that I find pretty interesting. Also, some of you found the little Jimmy stuff in my latest video a tad macabre, so be sure to tone it down a notch. I'm not finished with this little brat. And thank you for 24k subscribers. It really does put a smile on my face seeing all the new people here on the channel, so thank you. All the mods you're going to see today are tested and confirmed working on the latest beta branch of the game, which is during the recording of this video E130. And now, without further ado, here is the Bannerlord Mods Weekly video, episode number 5. To start the episode off, we've got a pretty interesting mod called Distinguished Service by Catalyst, which allows basic soldiers who meet certain criteria to ascend to Companiondom following battle. Now, the troops we've had by your side since their peasant days can be rewarded with a cushy governor job. For a unit to become a hero, the criteria the unit has to meet are, for example, which tier the unit has to be, the chance of being nominated as a companion after battle, and also how many units this specific individual has killed in combat. I really like a system like this because I was playing some Middle-earth Shadow of War lately, where you can level up troops from being a lowly orc to a companion or even war chief, with its own unique skills and traits. Depending on how you configured the modification, there is a possibility for text to pop up after a hard-earned victory, where you can accept the offer for a unit to join your companion ranks or even decline it. I really recommend this mod because it just adds more depth to the companion system. Now you don't have to wander around and talk to strangers because you can just promote them from your own ranks. Well. You were wandering around Calradia for 20 hours straight just to talk to some lord, but every time you open up the encyclopedia, he's at a different settlement? Feels familiar? Well, the mod Telepathy by SK gives you the ability to talk to any hero right from the encyclopedia. Sometimes it's just boring to wander the map to track down a lord just to talk, but using this mod this problem is no more. Just open up the encyclopedia, find the character you want to talk to and press the Call to Talk button, which should be just down under the portrait. I know that this mod is like cheating and pretty unrealistic, but I can see this mod being helpful in some instances. Next up we have Good Looking Flying Arrows by SirChris1415, which changes the meshes of flying arrows and bolts to the respective standard mesh. In vanilla, the game used a generic mesh for flying arrows and bolts, and this mod changes these meshes to the meshes they use when standing still, which then again results in a much nicer arrow rain instead of those thick wooden sticks. I'm very glad that someone changed the meshes for flying arrows, because those flying wooden sticks just looked ridiculous. Next up we have Keep Own Fief by Tanjay, which adds the option to keep a fief after capturing it. Now, when you're a leader of a kingdom, you're going to have the option to grant the fief to yourself or one of your clan leaders instead of those 3 random lords. I know that the system is not random, but you get my point. But if you are a vassal to an existing kingdom, you can spend 500 influence to keep the fief for yourself. It always bothered me that you can't give a fief to yourself even if you're king, and this mod changes that. So, you played over 200 hours of Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord and you want to spice it up a bit but don't know how? Well, with the mod Complete Troop Overhaul by Thrasher More, which rebalances all troops, increases visual diversity and brings nearly 50 new lore-friendly units to the game, you can play it all over again. The author made it so that the troops will be increasingly good at their specialities and get gear according to the function and tier. The higher the unit's tier, the more specialized are its skills. Each troop now will look more diverse and get the gear it's due, so no more tier 3 spearmen with max HP shields or tier 6 nobles with inferior weapons. And on top of all that, the author also added over 50 new units, which expands all main factions' troop trees with their own completely integrated upgrade paths, NPC parties and recruitment. Everything from Vlandian longbowmen to Azarian noble footlancers is included. Just look at the expanded troop trees. Also, new and old troops receive names according to the cultures that inspire their culture. This greatly reduces troop name repetition, for example veteran, hardened, trained, and gives more immersion. I like what the author has done, adding so many new troops, rebalancing old ones and giving some troops their own identity. And I think I'm going to focus a whole new playthrough around this mod, because it just adds so much more depth to raising troops and their specialities. So, you're pretty good in melee combat, but hate how your attacks don't connect more than often during mounted combat? Me too, man. But thanks to the mod Mounted Slash Camera by Welcome to Hell, which adds a toggleable camera mode, that pain is no more. When swinging left or right on horseback, the camera moves into the strike zone, which makes it a lot easier to hit targets, as you can see in the footage. Not much to say about this mod either, except that I really like the action sight camera when readying an attack. And last but not least, we have the very first magic mod for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, which is called Calradia Awakens, a modular total overhaul by Benji G91, which adds multiple new items and armors as well as magic spells to the game. Different spells have different type of abilities, for example fireballs cause AoE plus a knockdown effect on enemies. The newly added armor adds enchanted ropes, which have armor values comparable to high tier plate, and all the items can be found in various settlements, ranging from earth shards to force blasts to a magnetic coin which you can imbue with intense kinetic energy to blazing spears and even Thor's hammer. It's all there. Given that we don't have official modding tools, I'm really impressed on what the author has done, and I hope that he'll expand on this idea even after the official modding tools have launched to make Calradia a truly magical place. And that is it for this week's episode. Pretty interesting stuff, I must say. It's truly crazy what people come up with despite having no official modding tools whatsoever. I hope you liked it. If you did, please gently hit that like button. And if you like what I do in general, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, join my Discord where we can talk about mods and Bannerlord in general. And I see you all in the next one. Stay safe, warriors. Bye.